Hi everyone, I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to Huda Beauty try on. I made quite a large purchase over the Black Friday sales from Huda Beauty. They were having like a 30 to 80% off or some such thing. And I decided today to try some of what I got finally, because I've had it for over a month. I know we're already in 2023 over here and I still haven't tried all of my purchases that came in the month of December. So that's what we're gonna do today. We are going to do a little mini haul and then put on this face and hear my first impressions. And if you are curious to find out what I bought from Huda Beauty most recently and see me apply this makeup, then I really hope that you will stick around and keep on watching. Hello and welcome to my bare face and to my brain, which just filmed for about 20 minutes without turning the ring light on. It's starting off to be one of those filming days. So let's see if we can turn this around and put on some makeup and make me feel better about what just happened. So today we're gonna go over everything that I purchased in the Huda Beauty Black Friday sale. For me, this is really exciting because I don't actually own a lot of Huda Beauty, or at least I didn't until this past Black Friday. The only thing I think I've ever tried from Huda Beauty and that I own is the Mercury Retrograde Eyeshadow Palette. But this time around, I actually bought quite a lot of different items. I'd like to show you guys what those are and then put some of them on my face and just do pretty much a full face of Huda Beauty makeup. But before we jump right in, I just wanted to welcome everybody to my channel, whether you're new or returning. Thank you so much for being here. It always means so much to me. And if you are new and you haven't met me before, then hello, my name is Natalia. I'm a concert pianist who loves all things beauty. And this year, I'm really trying to focus on getting through as much of my collection as possible, getting to know as many products as possible, seeing what I'm going to keep, continue to use and enjoy, what products maybe will not survive this year-long discovery project of mine. If you're interested in seeing my journey, then I hope you will consider joining us and subscribing down below, ringing the bell, liking the video, you know, all the things. Let's jump in. So, as I said, I bought quite a lot. I'm gonna unpack this, show you guys everything that I got, and actually tell you the prices so that you also understand why I bought as much as I did, because they were actually having quite a good Black Friday sale. Since I film on my phone, I have everything written down in my notebook as far as what I've paid for the items and what their current prices are on Sephora. So let's jump right in. I did buy the Glowish Multidew Skin Tint in Fair. This, I believe, came out in 2021. Is that when the Glowish line started? I can't quite remember. It was either 2020 or 2021. This, I remember, got a lot of mixed reviews. Either people absolutely loved it or hated it. Since I have dry skin, I figured I would give this a try. I've been really curious about it all this time. And I paid $14.80 for it instead of $37. So I figured, what a good time to give it a go, because I was just in, I think it was Rite Aid the other day. There are foundations in the drugstore that are $20 or higher. $20 for a drugstore foundation. I don't understand the world we live in, honestly. Then I also got the Glowish Luminous pressed powder, and this I paid $9.90 for, so 10 bucks. Originally $33, also in 01 Fair. A lot of these are going to be Glowish products because that's what seemed to be on like super sale.
Okay, this hair is driving me nuts, and I don't really have any clips, so we're just gonna have to go with this red claw. I know, very glamorous.
Then I got the Soft Radiance bronzing powder, also Glowish line, and this one was $12.40, originally $31. This I remember a lot of people liking, so I'm really excited to try this out today for sure. One blush apparently is not enough. I had to get 3. In my defense, they were $8.40 each instead of 21, and the colors all looked so pretty that I couldn't decide. So I got Caring Coral, Healthy Peach, and Sassy Saffron. We'll open these up later and see which one we want to use today. I also purchased the Huda Beauty Silk Balm. I've been hearing so many people enjoy this balm. As I recently found out, a balm has nourishing ingredients and is more protective, which I'm all about in these winter months. I'd be curious to see what kind of good ingredients this has, but I'm not gonna dive into that right now. I paid $14.70 for this instead of $21. So this was one of the kind of pricey items as far as the percentage off, but I was that curious about it that I was willing to spend a little bit more on it. And then because Apparently I don't have enough eyeshadow palettes based on my inventory that you guys either recently would have seen, or if you're curious, I will link the video above. Last week, I believe it was, depending on when this video goes up, I posted my very first Martini Monday, a new series that I hope to do on as many Mondays this year as I possibly can. And I started off the year with doing an entire inventory of all of my makeup. And let me tell you, I have enough eyeshadow palettes to last a while, and yet I needed 3 more. I did not count these in my inventory. I mentioned in that video that anything I got in the month of December was still kind of packed up in bags and boxes, and I was not going to touch that prior to doing the inventory. It just would have been too cumbersome. So I did get the Empowered palette. I did use this already once on my own, but I'm probably gonna use that today again because I think I only used 2 shades in there and I'm really curious. And I did pick up these 2 Wild Obsessions, or Wild, whatever these are called. I got the Tiger and the Python. I remember when these initially came out, because there was 4 of them, I really wanted the Jaguar one. That was the only one that was no longer available on the website. They also did have the 4th one. I can't remember what animal it was, but it was like the purple one, or the pinky purple one, and I just didn't feel like I needed that one. These somehow spoke to me more because I'm a lover of greens. I do also really like neutrals, and I got these for $11.60 each instead of $29 each, and the Empowered palette was the most expensive item that I purchased at $46.90 instead of $67. So I believe that was only 30% off, and everything else except for maybe that Silk Balm was in the 70% off range. That's why I went a bit ham. Because I purchased so many things, I got 2 freebies. I got the Silk Balm Icy, which I would like to try as we put on everything else. I'll probably go ahead and put that on first because I'm really curious about this injection-free lip enhancer. And then I also got one of their Bossy Browns Power Bullet Cream Glow lipsticks. This is a cream lipstick in Hustler. I remember they did give choices. Let's start with this Silk Balm Icy.
Warning, Icy Baby.
I like the component. It's really cute. Let's check out what this feels like. Feels nice. What does this taste like? I can't figure it out. Is it a raspberry taste, a blueberry taste? Was it this one that some people were complaining is too tingly and hurts? To be honest, I'm not the great threshold of that because I usually don't mind those sort of products. What's the one that a lot of people struggle with? Is it the Too Faced lip injections? I think I've tried those, and while they do definitely sting, I'm fine with it. Do I look like I've gotten lip injections? I guess we're gonna have to give it some time and see. But yeah, it has like one of those artificial scents, like a wild berry or raspberry or something like that. I do have to say, when I try to lick it a little bit, my tongue tingles and stings a little bit too. So definitely there's a little bit of that feeling. Again, for me, I don't mind it at all. I don't think this is nearly as strong as the Too Faced lip injections from what I remember. So for me, this is a non-event, but if you're very sensitive to products like that, you probably wouldn't enjoy this. Okay. Let's go. I don't have a primer from Huda, but considering this is just a skin tint, I'm wondering if I should just try it on my bare skin. I do have a few breakouts, and usually skin tints don't really cover those up, but here she is. I wonder if I should do this with a sponge like I normally do, or just go ahead and use my fingers. I guess let's go in the back of my hand. Ooh, that came out right away. Wow. Usually like you have to pump a few times. It's not actually very thin. I expected this to be like maybe runny or something, but it is absolutely not. I'm going to just maybe try the sponge and see if that soaks in too much. All right, definitely added a glow, but it's not like a sparkly glow or anything like that. So I don't mind that part, but it also added pretty much no coverage. And while I usually am okay with light coverage, I want a little coverage. So let's try, even though I'm not really into doing things by hand, I guess let's try and see. Plus this will give me an idea of whether it's buildable. I feel like, even though this is fair, it's really yellow on me, so I'm gonna have to bring this down my neck. And why is my ear so red? We have a Russian like superstition that means somebody is talking about me, and possibly not in a pleasant way. I'm surprised that this is the lightest fair. I think fair was the lightest because it does look a bit yellow, no? Is it just me? Or is it the lighting? I guess I'll have to see later when I'm looking back at the footage. I don't mind the glow because, as I said, I'm dry, so I actually really like glowy tints and foundations. I'm just not sure if this is going to be really worth my time because I don't know how much coverage that gave me. Maybe I like these sort of products more in the summer, so maybe I'll enjoy it more then. Okay, I think today I'm gonna use my GIORGIO Armani, the Power Fabric, I think, and I have shade 2. I also purchased shade 3, which is actually, I believe, lighter than shade 2. I'm almost kind of regretting it because when I was doing my inventory, I realized that most of my concealers are back from the days when we all, well, I shouldn't say we all, but a lot of us used to do that whole triangle highlighting situation. So I feel like I don't really have that many concealers I can use on a regular basis. That's exactly what this year is about. It's about me seeing if I can still use some of my older products or if some of them no longer serve me. All right, next, let's try this powder. This, I remember, was a very polarizing product. I don't think too many people really love this, but again, because I'm dry, I figured, you know, I in general don't wear that much powder. And now that I've done my inventory, I've realized I really don't need another powder because it takes me a long time to go through a powder, and it turns out I have so many loose ones. But yeah, this is also in fair. Oh, I like the packaging. It's really cool. I like this frosted plastic. I don't know if this is meant to be used under the eyes, but we're gonna start there and see, because that is something I do usually do, is I do set my concealers, and I don't like the powders to be like too matte for under the eyes. I know some people say like if your concealer and your powder under the eyes is too shiny, it actually enhances the texture and like shows things, but I feel like if it's too matte, that's also not good on me just because of my aging skin. I think the rain started, so you guys might be hearing that. Sorry. Let's see. I'm trying to get closer to the light, closer also to you guys. You know what? I don't mind the powder so far. Let's, I guess, see what it does for all over. This is an old Japanesque 096 brush, and the other one was like a little old Real Techniques setting brush. I know I'm not in natural light, and yes, I think it is a little bit glowy, but honestly guys, I don't mind this. What are you thinking? I know I need to test this again in natural light. I know a lot of people did not like this powder. I wonder if they just had oilier skin. I mean, I'm not loving how it's sitting on the zit, but to be honest, I rarely like anything sitting on zits. Yeah, so far actually, I don't mind this powder. It reminds me a little bit of the one that I've been trying to use up for a few years, this Physicians Formula Youthful Wear powder, which has like very slight particles and does have also a little bit of a radiant finish. Something tells me they probably don't even make this anymore. I mean, I have no idea. I've had this for so long. But yeah, it's just called the Translucent Illuminating Finish Powder. So this kind of reminds me a little bit of that, but without the little particles. It honestly, in the pan, I guess you could say it has like a tiny sheen, but in the pan, it doesn't strike me as a very shiny powder. I think for somebody like me with dry skin, this is actually perfect because I'm not gonna like a powder that makes me completely matte and flat. It's just not my thing. All right, what I am excited about is the bronzers. So this is the one in light, and I guess they'll almost be different because they have different designs. So some must have more veining and others less so. Reminds me a little bit of the Hourglass powders. Like their blushes have that. I think their bronzers also have their powder mixed in there. I've never tried the Hourglass bronzers, but I have some of their blushes. So I'm really excited to give this a try. I usually use my Vicky Beauty 104 for bronzer because I kind of like to almost contour and bronze at the same time. I rarely do both steps unless I'm like really getting dolled up. So I guess let's try that. If you have this and there are brushes that work better, please let me know. To be honest, because I am picky about my bronzers, because I'm so fair, I think it's just a tiny bit orange on me, but I think I could make this work, especially in the summer. It's not like love at first swipe. I'll definitely want to try this in daylight and see how I feel about it then, because all I'm working with is a ring light and just some lamps. So it's hard to know. What do you guys think? Do you have this product? Do you enjoy it? I think Rupi back in the day really liked it. Rupi, if you're watching, let me know what brush you use and if you still use this product and if you still enjoy it. It might not become my favorite bronzer. That I have a feeling. I can already tell because it is just a little bit orange for my taste. I like something that is very neutral. Blushes. Let's look at these 3 colors and see what we want. This is what they look like. They're really cute. They're much smaller than the bronzer. So the bronzer has 8 grams of product and the blush only has 2.5. Oh, these are so cute and tiny. They do have a little mirror. This one is, what is this one? This one is in Healthy Peach. I love peach blush. And it has a little bit of veining. I don't know if you guys can see. Then we have Caring Coral, which looks very pretty as well. And here for comparison, the peach one is much lighter. So this is the Healthy Peach. This is the Caring Coral. And then I also got, and I'm assuming this is going to be the darkest of the 3, I got Sassy Saffron. Oh no, actually. It's just different. So this is Sassy Saffron to compare the peach and the Sassy Saffron. And then we have the Caring Coral and the Sassy Saffron. They all look so pretty. I think I want to try the Sassy Saffron today. This is, I think, just a random BH brush. I'm gonna go with this. I don't know, maybe natural hair is better on these, but I'm gonna go with the synthetic. And again, if you guys have these blushes, let me know. My favorite blush brushes are currently not clean. We can all relate to that. Ooh. Very pigmented. I don't feel like, for something that's called glowish though, this one is very glowy. To me, at least on my dry skin, that almost like matted out the shine that was peeking through from the skin tint and the powder earlier. I do like it, but it's not glowy, at least not on me. I'd be curious to try the other colors. I have a feeling the peach one will be like a really nice natural flush on me. I don't know if I see this working though for very deep complexions, but I think the Caring Coral would work really nice for a lot of skin tones. For $8.40, I'm really happy with these. I want to try all the colors, see which ones I really like, and we'll see how long these last in my collection. I don't have a highlighter, and I don't necessarily need a highlighter, but I am trying to do a series where I test out a bunch of my older products, and I am calling it my basket of doom, which is essentially kind of like a chopping block. So for the month of January, I have this Urban Decay Afterglow highlighter in Sin and the LORAC Starlight. So these are very similar, and I need to decide whether I am going to keep one or none. I'm not even giving myself the option of keeping both. I think it's one or none. So I'm going to do one on one cheek, one on the other, and we're going to see. We are going to do Urban Decay on this side, and then we are going to put the blush back over that a little bit so that we don't see any stripes. Let's blend that in. I feel like now that I'm getting older, it might be a little too chunky for me. I used to really like that highlighter. And then we have the LORAC. Okay, so maybe the color of this is just a little bit lighter. This one seems to be a little bit closer to my skin tone. This one seems a little bit brighter, but also a little bit thinner in consistency. I would love to see if you guys can tell the difference on camera. Yes, I have crappy lighting, so I'm not really being fair, but I would love to hear what you guys think, whether you have a preference of one versus the other. So this is Urban Decay, this is LORAC. I am personally leaning towards LORAC, to be honest, but mostly because of the texture, the formula, and not so much because of the color. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. What do you think about these lips? I don't see any difference. I guess let's put a little bit more on while I'm doing eyeshadow. Okay, we have the moment of truth. Eyeshadow. I'm gonna go with the Empowered. It's the newest one to the market. I've been curious about it. So many people have done videos on this. If you guys haven't seen it, which I'd be surprised, it looks like so. I did use 2 shades so far. The cream shadow, the purpose already has bubbles on it, but I don't know, they both do, but I know that's from temperature change. Not sure what I'm supposed to do with those. Like, I've never really had a palette that had the combination of creams and powders. I don't know, I feel like I'm gonna stay away from that today. I'm a little bit scared. Okay, so in the month of January, I'm testing out this Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion in Anti-Aging because I have a feeling that it is making my lids crease, which usually with a primer does not really happen to me. So let's see what it does with this formula. Yeah, I just feel like it's not really sticky enough. Like, it almost disappears into nothing, which is probably why my eyeshadow has been creasing with it, because I am used to wearing an eyeshadow primer. I'm probably gonna speed through this. I definitely want to try some of these warmer shades as far as the mattes, and I'm really struggling to figure out what shimmer I want to try. The only one I have tried was Bold Moves, and I really did enjoy it, but I want to try something else today, and I can't decide if I want to go with Courageous or Limitless, which are the 2 right next to the cream black, or if I want to try this Visionary shade. I guess I'll go ahead and use these for my transitions. I think I'm just gonna go with kind of this quad as far as all of my mattes, and I'll just decide as I go. And then once I have the mattes, I'll figure out what I want to do with the shimmer. And I don't have a lot of clean brushes, don't judge. I'm just gonna be using like a lot of cheaper ones. Like, I have a bunch of Wet n Wild brushes, some BH brushes. All of my good ones, like my Rougher and BK Beauty and MAC, are all dirty. Okay, I'm starting with Power. So that was Power. Definitely there was some kick up, and now I'm going to, on the same brush, go in with the shade right next to it, which is called Get It. Oh wow, that one's much brighter. That would be a really pretty color, I think, for the summer. I'm gonna take my BK Beauty 207 and I'm going to deepen the outer V with Legacy. A really nice, warm, like chestnut shade. I'm taking a clean brush just to blend it out a bit. I really like that shade. I accidentally put some of the Get It shade in my outer V. I wasn't looking and dipped into the wrong one. So that's why the bottom here is a little bit lighter. I can't seem to cover it up. That one is a very bright shade. I would have preferred, of course, that I didn't make that mistake, but yeah, this Legacy shade, this very rich chocolatey brown, like chestnut shade, as I mentioned, I'm really liking that one. Since I like that Legacy shade so much, I'm gonna take what's left on this brush and drag it a little bit on my lower lash line. Interesting, it looks more orange on the bottom than it does on the top. Maybe because by now I've blended so many shades into this brush, but I feel like on the top it definitely has more of that brown, and on the bottom it pulls more warm. So I guess maybe once you really blend it out, it has more warmth to it versus when you pack it on, which means that could be an easy shade to use for a smoky eye, because you could pack it on and then blend out the edges and it would almost look like you have multiple shades on. Now that I have all of these mattes on, I think I want to try Courageous, because also I think that that is a duochrome. Am I wrong? I guess we're about to find out. I am gonna spray to avoid fallout, and I'm gonna go first on the outer half, just in case this is really dark and then I want to do something else on the inner. Oh yeah, that is definitely darker than I expected. It's like a purple to green. Is that what's happening here? Yeah, not quite what I was expecting. It's a bit darker, but I didn't swatch it, so my fault. Okay, so then I think what I'm gonna do is go in with something else over it as well. It's a really pretty color, don't get me wrong, it's just not quite what I expected. I'm gonna do this middle shade Do It and try that on the other side of this brush. Yeah, this is more of just like a coppery shimmer. So I'm gonna blend those over because I think that will look nicer with all of the warm mattes that I have. Yeah, I don't mind that actually. I pretty much covered up the duochrome, but that's okay. And I am getting a little bit of fallout, but not too bad. And I actually would like to deepen this a little bit with that Legacy shade that I like so much. This shade Do It picks up really chunky and it does look a little textured on the lid, but you can really smooth it out. It's one of those that if you're going to use your fingers, which I prefer not to, it'll go on really nice and smooth, even though it's a bit chunky when you're picking it up on the brush. Yeah, I really like that shade too. Okay, I'm gonna take Power, which was the lightest shade I used for transitioning, put that underneath. I feel like the lighter colors pull a little deeper on me, I guess because I am so fair, but the darker colors are pretty true to what's in the pan. So it's nice that this has a range because, you know, I feel like the one I'm using, for example, to deepen things up would probably not deepen anything up on a dark skin tone. So I'm glad that there's other shades like Confident. Big Dreams and Winter are cool tone, but I don't know if they're very deep. So I feel like Confident, honestly, is the only really deep shade. If you're a deep skin tone, that might be a little bit of an issue. Thankfully there is one, but if you want a variety, you're probably not going to get too much variety here. Then again, if you do have this palette and you're much darker than me, let me know what works for you and what doesn't. I'd be curious to learn more. All right, and then Inner Corner. Inner Corner for me is kind of a bit of an issue because I don't have anything matte or shiny that is light enough. I guess I'll do Bold Moves, even though it wouldn't be my first choice, but I've noticed palettes that I'm attracted to lately like have those slightly deeper neutral tones, but they don't seem to have a wide enough range for me. I'm sure that for like a medium, this would probably be great, but for me, it becomes a little tricky. And Bold Moves is another one of these pretty chunky shades. It's very shiny though. I remember when I used this, it was very shiny. So that's kind of cool. So I was wrong. I think this could work for Inner Corner. I mean, it's the only one. I would have loved to have something a little bit different in tone with all of these warm tones in here, but it can work. And if not, I can always put whatever highlighter I'm wearing that day in my inner corner, so it's not the end of the world. Now, I'm looking at myself in this big mirror. I do see my pores quite prominent here on my cheeks, so I'm guessing all of this glow that I have put on myself between the skin tint and the powder, and then later on the blush and the highlighter, it is definitely accentuating things. And I do see my lines quite vividly, so can't say I'm loving that. I don't know if that's the tint settling in. I mean, it's also my forehead. Like, my lines have gotten so much worse over the past year, and I have not yet ventured into the land of Botox or anything like that. All right, I'm gonna do eyeliner, mascara, and then come back for the lips. Okay, eyes are done. What are we thinking? I used my Clinique Quick Liner for eyes in Intense Chocolate, the brown one, and then for the first time ever, I am trying this super fancy Chantecaille Faux Cils mascara. I don't know where I have this from, to be honest, but I do. I first, on this eye, applied my Mizon Collagen Curling Fix mascara, and then I was like, ooh, I want to try this one. So on this eye, I only have this one. On this eye, I have both. Can you guys tell the difference? Up close I can. This one's clumpier because of this mascara, because it's already drying up. And this one is less clumpy, but actually still quite full. I mean, I can only imagine how much this costs. I can't look it up right now, so it better be a good mascara. And it's so bougie, it smells like roses. I was putting on mascara, I was like, what's that smell? Like, I know it from other brands, and I think Chantecaille themselves, they have like a mask that's rose scented that I've tried before. It's quite possible that I got both this and that mask and like a spray or something in the BoxyCharm sale thing, the pop-up or whatever. So that's probably why I have this, because I probably got it on some sort of a ridiculous discount. I do have to say, I like it. I'm not gonna lie. Lips, guys, lips, and we're done, and then I can let you go. So I'm gonna remove this Icy Balm. And I guess because we're trying Huda Beauty, I'm not gonna do a lip liner. I always usually do a lip liner, but we're just going to see what this lipstick is all about on its own. So this is the cream lipstick in Hustler. Here's the shade. So there's the lipstick. I am excited to try this. I would definitely want a lip liner, especially for a cream lipstick, but it feels really nice. I'm just not really into cream lipsticks too much. I prefer either a matte lipstick because I know it's not gonna go anywhere, or a gloss because even if it does, that's kind of not as obvious because it has very little pigment. But I think this color works really nice with the eye look, so that's really cool. Go me. And then do I want to put on a gloss? I don't know if I want to ruin the wand. Anybody else like that? Like, I actually don't enjoy putting gloss directly over lipstick because then it ruins the wand, like it makes it colored. I think I'm going to put it on my hand and see if I have a brush. Well, it's gonna be impossible to tell because the lipstick is already so creamy, but I have a feeling I'm gonna really like that gloss. I think I'm just gonna try it though another time. All right, and here we are with the final Huda Beauty look. What do you guys think? Honestly, overall, I'm quite pleased. I'm not 100% sure yet on what's causing the pore situation, and of course I can try it with primers and see if it makes things better, because today I did not use any primers at all, but I don't think I tried anything that I really disliked. So I'm gonna work on the texture situation. I'm going to be super excited to try the other two blushes. I like the lipstick. I'm going to try it with a lip liner and I think feel a little safer, although this doesn't look bad, and I haven't worn a lipstick without a lip liner in a long time, so color me impressed. I'd like to try this in the future because I feel like they have both a lot of creaminess and one sort of cancels out the other. Really happy with the palette. I thought it was pretty easy to use. I'm going to keep playing with the palette, hopefully more this month, and come back with more thoughts if you guys want. If you want more looks or whatever, let me know. Other than that, I think there's not much really else for me to say for today because this is a first impression and I just wanted to sit and put on some makeup with you guys. I really do want to hear though what you have from these products. What do you enjoy? What do you not enjoy and why? And if you have these Tiger and Python palettes, let's open them up together and take a look because I didn't even show them to you guys. I know these are old. Who knows? They might even get phased out soon if they haven't already, but I just couldn't pass them up for the price. They looked really cute. So here's the Tiger palette. So off the bat, I feel like maybe these two shades are going to be really similar to, no, so the gold maybe, but I don't think the transition shades are the same. If anybody is curious, I can always swatch them, and you guys can always ask me on Instagram. And then the one I'm really excited for, because I think it has some greens, is the Python. Now, the packaging is cool, I have to say, on both of these. Can you guys see? It's a rhetorical question, I'm sorry. I know that you can't answer me, and I know that I don't have a camera that actually shows me anything. Ooh, okay. I'm excited. I'm really excited. This reminds me of, what does this remind me of? Let's see. So this, even the box, kind of, this color story, kind of reminds me of the ColourPop Flash Life, which I think I've only used once or twice, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. So this will probably be in a basket of doom in the future. And honestly, if I enjoy the formula of the Huda Beauty, what do you guys think? I feel like I can definitely live with just one of these. If you have both of these, let me know. What do you think? Do you think these have enough similar shades to dupe each other out, or are they different enough for me to keep? just food for thought. I'm not making these decisions today or even this week or probably even this month, but I'm now really curious to actually test both of these and see if they dupe each other out. All right, and now that I've created a complete disaster in front of me and have kept you here, I'm sure as always, way too long, I think I'm gonna close out this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything about today's video. I'd love it if you would consider subscribing if you haven't already. Stay tuned for more of my Martini Monday videos and more try-ons of things where we discover if we have possible dupes and if we have possible empties falling underneath the desk. A video I have yet to film and really need to because things are overflowing down here. Anyway, thank you so much for being here with me, and I hope that you guys are all doing really well. I hope that you are continuing to stay safe and healthy, take care of yourselves and those around you, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Bye guys.